And settling on in. So, again, I like to begin my meditation with a few little wiggles. I find that helps me settle into the supports I have for the day. Also helps me check in and see if I want to be seated a little bit differently. So, I invite you um, to explore to see if you're comfortable the way that you've set up. Maybe take a couple of deep breaths, maybe some sighing on the exhale, letting yourself really arrive, letting yourself breathe. Taking some time to connect with our intention of being here to meditate together. Hmm. As we check in with the sensations in our bodies, I'm going to offer some very gentle movement. Just more of a way to check in. So maybe some movement in your neck, whether you're just waking up or you're near the end of your day, checking in with any neck tension. And these can be very small side to side movements. They can be bigger circles, whatever feels helpful to your neck. Anytime we're moving our necks, I always like to remind us to move slowly. So you never want to be whipping your neck around. But whatever slow movement you do, just keep checking in. Mm. Moving now from our neck into our shoulders. So these can be just up and down, these can be little circles. Just checking in what movement feels helpful in your shoulders. Mm. If you're doing circles, maybe reverse direction. And then as you check in, moving down to your elbows, just bending and straightening your arms. Checking in, our elbows are often a spot that we don't necessarily check in with. Just noticing. And then moving into our wrists, finding some circles here. And reverse direction. And if it feels helpful, you can breathe more deeply as we move, or simply breathe naturally. This is your practice. Now moving into your fingers, so stretching your fingers and clenching them a little bit. None of these movements require a yoga mat. And now maybe moving into some seated circles, just bringing your torso around. You can also just move forward and back or side to side. And reverse direction here. Yeah, noticing your breath, not necessarily changing anything about it. And now checking in with your legs. This will depend on how you're seated. You can straighten and bend. You can find a little wiggle. Whatever movement in your legs, maybe even just clenching and releasing your calf muscles. And then moving into your feet. And these can be circles with your feet, just wiggling your toes, whatever feels helpful. And then from there, settling into some stillness. And we started off with a little bit more movement than we typically do. So as you check in and scan your body for sensations, notice, are there more pleasant sensations? You can even notice whether different parts of your body liked or disliked the movement. Remembering that with mindfulness meditation, these experiences do not need to be all good. You're still getting information, noticing the rhythm of your breath. Notice the way your body is in the shape that you're currently in. Feel your points of contact with the floor, with your chair or cushion. Approaching all of this with curiosity. I view meditation as a way to get to know your mind and your body. And so, with our minds, sometimes we find that this still and quiet space allows our mind to be still and quiet. Sometimes our mind is racing. However, your mind is showing up to practice is absolutely okay. Try to take this metaphorical step back to observe your mind instead of being part of the ruminations that happen. Are you surprised by what's there? Any questions we ask ourselves should always be coming from a place of compassionate curiosity. So that means that if there's a train of thought that keeps coming up for you, you can ask yourself, why is this bubbling up now? We are in our minds all day. So taking time to anchor, to have some techniques for when your mind really starts to run wild, to breathe, to feel your body. You can also use phrases to help keep your attention focused in this moment. My favorite is, I am here, it is now. And sometimes I'll synchronize that with my breath. Inhale, I am here. Exhale, it is now. That can be a great starting point for affirmations. Helps you establish that baseline of truth, of groundedness, before you begin inviting in other qualities that you are bringing into your day. Because you are here and it is now. We are here meditating together, taking this time to breathe and to be. One of the big elements of mindfulness is being present in this moment. not getting overly focused in the past or the future. Noticing if your mind tends to drift into the past or the future, and bringing yourself back to the space, to this moment. And on the subject of not getting lost in the past or the future, I have a short passage to read you. It's a story called The Man Who Always Waited to Be Happy. There once was a boy who always worried about what he would do with life and how he would make a living. There simply wasn't time in his life to be happy. All he had time to do was plan for the future. He would tell himself, I'll be happy once I get a career and start making money. Then I will be happy. He worked very hard indeed, and he established himself in a good career where he was respected by many. But he wasn't happy. He was too busy thinking about all the things he didn't have. So he told himself, I'll be happy once I have a family. And so it went. He got married, he had kids, he had enough money to put them through school, he had grandkids, and so on. But there was always something. And in the end, he died having had a wonderful life, yet he never took the time to appreciate it. So taking a moment here, noticing what thoughts or feelings that short story brought up. It's so important to find the balance between working towards our goals and finding gratitude, contentment, and happiness where we are. Part of this is allowing multiple things to be true simultaneously. Acknowledging that life is not perfect and seeing the things that are truly wonderful. Our brains are biologically wired to look for what's missing, where there might be danger, where we need to do better. So, a practice of gratitude, of looking around and seeing everything that's going well, needs to be done quite consciously at first. So we'll take the next minute or two to reflect on what you are grateful for, on what is going well. Acknowledging that some days those might be fairly small things, but it still gives us a place of gratitude to start from. Perhaps notice if it's easy to bring to mind things that you're grateful for, or if today it's a bit more of a challenge. Is this a practice you've done before? Because a lot of what we do, we need to build this skill like you're building muscle in the gym. So when people tell me they can't meditate because they can't focus, focus is something we build during meditation. And no matter how long you've been meditating, there will still be times when your mind wanders because we are human. And that's what our minds were designed to do. So by taking this space, working with our intention of being present, being here in this moment, of reflecting on what is going well, of allowing there to be things that are going well, even when the world is not perfect. Perhaps noticing how it feels to hold that duality of some things being wonderful while others have pain or suffering, allowing them to coexist. Just being present with the rhythm of your breath, the knowledge that you are here, that it is now. Feeling each breath anchor you into this moment. Where we don't ignore the future, we don't get lost in it either. Perhaps reflecting on one thing you can do to work towards your future goals, and one thing to celebrate what is currently true. Just baby steps for today. And as we bring our practice to a close, I invite you to bring your palms together at your heart space, thanking yourself for making time for meditation, feeling grateful for those who practiced alongside you. Thank you. Hmm. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you.